What's up, guys? Today I am here to talk to you about tip baiting. Yes, tip baiting. Now, some of you are rolling your eyes right now, like, oh, tip baiting. Oh, I hate tip baiting. And some others are like, well, what is tip baiting? So I'll run through what tip baiting is, but in today's video, I'm going to talk about what is tip baiting, explain what it is, but also I'm going to talk about some bad actors, some bad delivery drivers out there, and what they did to customers who tip baited them. So stick around and you're going to hear what it is and what they did, and some thoughts around it, of course, just my insights or my thought processes to it. So let's kick it off. Tip baiting. What is tip baiting? What is it? This for the YouTube thumbnail? What's tip baiting? Maybe, I don't know. Welcome to content creation. So tip baiting. So this is where a customer places an order through, and it's mostly, guys, it's an American problem. This doesn't exist over in Australia. This is an American thing. Maybe happens over in Canada as well. But America deals with this. Tip baiting. Customer places an order through on an application. Now, customers know that if they don't put a big tip on the front, chances are their order will sit there for an indefinite period of time. So I'll leave it as that. So, but if there's a big tip on the front, drivers will jump at it. They'll grab it. They'll take it as soon as they can. They prioritize that order. They see a big order pop up and they go, yes, that one, cool, accept it. They rush off to go pick up the delivery, and then they drop it off to the customer, and the customer's like, sweet, I got my delivery super quick. And then the customer jumps into the application and they remove the tip. So they got their order prioritized from the driver, playing the system, and then they just remove that incentive that the driver had, sometimes leaving the driver losing money from doing that delivery because the tip is what made it worth doing in the first place. So that's a tip bait. Customer putting a big tip there to incentivize the driver, and then once the driver does the delivery, they remove the tip. And the apps, a few of the apps, I think it's Walmart Spark, InstaCart, and I've also seen Uber Eats has been popping up as a culprit for this one as well. Allows the customer in the app, without contacting support or anything like that, just a feature in the app, they can just click into it and say, remove tip, and just zero it out. I think I got 2 hours. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, guys. 2 hours to remove the tip after the delivery is complete. So that is what tip baiting is. Now, I'm on the outside looking in, so I get to talk about this a little bit. I'm not on the ground dealing with this. This does not happen in Australia, guys. So any Australian viewers, does not happen to us. They just can't do it. The gig companies have not allowed it. Plus, we don't really have that tipping culture where we require a tip to be front loaded to the order for us to accept. We just get paid a value, and we can make our decision from there without a tip included. So let's have a look at what some drivers have done in retaliation to tip baiting. So what some drivers have done over in America, God bless you guys. You're creative. Americans are creative people. So what they did, they were not happy about being tip baited. So these drivers have gone onto Google Maps and then marked out on pins on Google Maps the tip baiters, where they get tip baited, and leave a little pin marking location, and they put in the words tip baiter. And because they need to select a category, they just select public bathroom. So when anyone goes onto Google Maps, so not the driver, not the customer, anyone on Google Maps, look in the area, they can see public bathroom listed there, and it says tip baiter above it. And they just went through marking everyone as a tip baiter who did it to them. So that way, I guess it's kind of trying to shame the customer, saying this person at this address is a tip baiter. Yeah, so that's what they did. Now, outside the looking glass, looking in, I can do this because I'm from Australia and looking at the problem over in America. And guys, it's a problem. So here's my thoughts around it. So the larger problem is gig companies will send out an order to a delivery driver where the order would not be a profitable venture, would not be worth it without the tip being added on by the customer. So why is a gig company doing that? Why are they sending out non-profitable delivery orders to drivers to take? Great question. And that's a systemic flaw that you guys are dealing with. Now, Where the problem gets even worse is the gig companies know, hey, this order is an absolutely trash order. It is not profitable for a driver to do, but there's a huge tip on it, and we've allowed customers to put huge tips on it. So drivers take it, they do the delivery, and then the tip gets ripped off on the back end. Meaning that driver has done everything right, and you can't use I've seen it so many times misused in forums and groups. They're saying, just don't accept trash orders. Well, the order was good when they accepted it, wasn't it? So that's kind of moot. It's a moot point. It had a huge tip on it at the start. They accepted the order. They said, sweet, great delivery. Let's do this. And then it changes at the end. So the drivers kind of get ripped off there. So it really is a chicken and egg scenario. Without the tips on at the front, drivers don't accept the orders. But the customer knows this, and they're like, well, if I don't if I don't want to tip the driver, I know that I can remove it at the end and get their money back, but still get their delivery through. So it's a chicken and egg. Do I put the tip on now to get the order, or do I put the tip on at the end but never get the order? So I don't know. It's not a good system, guys. Not a good system at all. So is there a valid reason for a customer to remove a tip at the end? So delivery complete, customer says, you know what, I want to remove the tip. Is there a valid reason? Absolutely. So just because, and guys, I'm just going to frame this up properly for you. So you may be a great driver. You may do everything right. You may do everything perfectly, great customer service, you're fast, you're not stuffing around with the customers or anything like that. You get the job done in a good way, with a big smile on the dial. And yeah, you deserve the tip, 100%. But just because you're a good driver doesn't mean that everyone else is. Now, there are drivers out there that are entitled to tips. They feel entitled to tips, and they provide terrible service. They might drive around, they might take forever. They might sit around filling up their car at a gas station for 20 minutes and eating lunch while they've got the person's order sitting in the car next to them, and then decide to start moving through. Maybe they're multi-apping, and it takes them an hour to get the delivery done after it's been assigned. Maybe they're doing stuff like that. So just because you're a good driver doesn't mean that other drivers aren't good. And if you were in the customer's shoes and you knew that a driver was doing the wrong things, they were stuffing around, they weren't being concise with your delivery, and then, they show up and maybe they're rude to you, maybe they give you some attitude, and you think, you know what, fuck them. Fuck this person. They stuffed around with my order, all this stuff. They don't deserve the $10. They don't deserve the $20 tip that I put on here because I wanted, to kind of reward a person out there struggling, grinding, doing a great job. I want to reward good customer service. And this guy's an absolute dick. Remove the tip. I think that's a valid situation. If you get bad customer service, why should you pay the tip anyway? Isn't that the point of tips, to, provide a reward for good service and prompt service? So yeah, I think there are reasons to remove a tip, but I don't think that the customers should have that power and control in the palm of their hands. So the feature where they can remove it up to 2 hours later, I think that should be removed. I think if a customer has a grievance and wants to remove the tip from the driver, I think they need to contact customer support, and then run through their grievance and say, hey, XYZ happened. This is why I'm not happy. I want my tip reversed. I want it pulled back for all these reasons. And then customer service can review it. They can review through the order and then treat it on its own merits, instead of people just zeroing stuff out because they feel like it or they want to abuse a system. If you make that extra step in there where it gets reviewed, and maybe customer service turns around and says, well, you know what? This was delivered in a fast manner. We can see that it was from everything we can see, there was good communication in text between the two of you, so nothing went awry there. No, the tip stands. I think that should be a process in there. It should go through a review from the company before they do any refunding back. That's my thoughts on it. Now, does marking a customer's house as a public restroom and saying tip baiter on Google Maps, does that help anyone? I don't think so. I don't think other drivers, delivery drivers, are going through and then each order or offer they get through, I don't think they're turning around and then quickly Googling in the address after they accept it. Or like even, yeah, like after they accept it, let's say they're looking for an exact address. I don't think they're Googling the exact address to be like, oh, is there anything that I can see from other drivers here marked on Google Maps? No, they're not doing that. It's not helping anyone. It's just being vindictive to, I guess people are frustrated. These drivers who have been tip baited, they're frustrated and they just want to do something, but the gig companies aren't supporting them in this. They don't really have like a break room to really vent with other drivers or anything like that, saying, fuck, this happened to me, this is bullshit. A lot of drivers don't have that kind of support group around them. And yeah, I guess maybe, there could be some sweet vengeance there, and but once again, at the detriment of someone else. Maybe someone new to the area comes driving through, they open up Google Maps, they're like, oh, my kid needs to use the bathroom, and they pull up to like a public rest stop that they see on Google Maps, and it's just someone's front lawn, and the kid goes and pees on their front lawn or something like that. Maybe that's what these guys were hoping for. It's a reach. It's a reach, that's for sure. But yeah, that's tip baiting. That's what people were doing. Would you do it? I don't think you should. I think it's petty. Petty's probably the best word for it. But yeah, that is what's new in the gig world. Oh man, if I had more exciting stuff to talk about, I'd talk about it. But man, I just thought this was interesting. Google has responded as well, and they've got bots going through trying to clean up everything saying tip baiting, and then also things can be reported across as a manual review for a human to also remove it. So they are pulling down these false markers of public restrooms called tip baiter. It is going down. But guys, that's all I had to say about that today. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any thoughts around this, how would you deal with a tip baiter? What's a good way to deal with a tip baiter? How do you get your mentality around tip baiters? Is it just a course of doing business? Something you just have to suck it up and be like, well, that sucked. That happened though. I'll just move on to the next delivery. Or do you have other ways to deal with it? Ooh, what do you do? Anyway, guys, that's all. Hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Hi, mate. Have you subscribed to Chris yet? Of course I did. The subscribe button is just down there. Did you know he's trying to get to 10,000 subscribers? 10,000? That's 5 times the size of Cooper Petey. Cooper Petey, mate. Cooper bloody Petey, mate. Cooper Petey, mate. Cooper bloody Petey. He's got some more videos over there too. Over where? Just over there. Over here? Yeah, mate, that's them. Cheers, mate. I'll keep watching because there's always something new. And I'll see you in the next one. Who are you legends?